Okay. So we ran into a little bit of problems. Now, when I was recording, I had some issues, and long story short, we are past the beginning of episode two, Taken. So we're not really that far. So right where Alan meets the sheriff and says, "Oh, there's no cabin. Oh my god." So at the beginning of episode two, called Taken, you do a little flashback of Alice and Alan in their New York apartment, and they're basically doing the whole, she's working on some photographs. He just got home, and the lights go out, and Alan tells Alice a story of the clicker and what it means to him. And Alice is like afraid of the dark. They say they love each other, they kiss, they smooch, and now you're back at the sheriff's station. Um, Wake just met the doctor. He says, I'm not going to tell them anything because then they'll just send me to the hospital and then I can't help Alice. So that's where we're at right now. Sorry for the inconvenience, but yeah, we just missed maybe like 5 minutes. That's really all it is. So here we go. We're still very early on.
If the pain gets any worse or you experience any other symptoms, you should come see me. I'll let you get on with it then. Sarah, Sheriff Breaker, is waiting for you. She's very good at her job. I'm sure she can locate your wife.
I also
in
changed
no time.
lowered the
Doc
audio.
Nelson was the image of a small-town doctor. Sheriff Breaker had called him to the station to take a look at the cut in my head.
I also lowered the audio just a little bit to see if that would sound better, because looking back on the previous recordings, I thought the in-game audio was just a little bit too loud, so I lowered some of that.
I'm sorry you had to cut your morning fishing short for this, Doc.
Oh, she's a beauty, ain't she? Not the biggest I ever caught, if you can believe that coming from an old fisherman like me, but she's right up there. Now, she's a largemouth bass, which
Nice.
is what you're after if you prefer a lure. Now, if you want either trout or salmon, on the other hand, then it's fly fishing for you. You a fishing man, Mr. Wake? Oh, doesn't really matter, I suppose. But it can be very relaxing out there. You can't get me off the water this time of year. Closest thing to heaven.
I'll take your word for it, Doc.
He's cool. So even this side character that, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't really matter. But look, he has a little backstory. He likes fishing. He
I
loves
believe you'll
fishing.
find the sheriff in her
He
office.
seems like a nice guy. He's
just
been the town
go down the
doctor for
corridor.
many years. He seems like a cool guy. You don't really get that in the Alan Wake 2. I just had to say it. And here's the map. I just want to point it out again.
You're good to go, Mr. Wake. Sarah's probably waiting for a chance to talk to you.
Thank you, Doctor. Yeah, so look, there's the national park on the bottom left. We're gonna go there. On the left of Cauldron Lake is Stucky's gas station. There's Cauldron Lake Lodge to the north. To the south is the coal mine.
The sheriff wanted to see you in her office.
Thank you. So there's the Mirrored Peaks. There's Ghost Town. So basically this whole area you're gonna get to explore in the game. All of these landmarks and all these points of interest, you're gonna be all over that. We're gonna be all over that. Except Watery. We don't go into Watery for obvious reasons, but yep, there it is, just like in the second game. And I just want to point this out one more. Oh, there's Mirrored Peak. So I just want to point this out one more time. Alan Wake 2 does not have this map. So it's a shame. You think with the upgrade in technology and the advancements that we've made, and all the and this thing and that thing, that it would be cool to see Anderson trekking through the woods and trying to figure things out. But no, it's actually very small. It's a lot smaller. And I like Alan's section because it's, to me, the most visually creative, obviously. Oh, who's that person?
Thank you for testing the lights, Miss Weaver. Everything seems to be fine.
I don't have the luxury of being complacent, Deputy Grant. The bulbs will need changing soon. You can't change them in the dark.
I'll be sure to take care of it, Miss Weaver. Have a nice day now.
Very good. I'll come back later on to remind you, just in case.
Oh, yes.
Mr. Wake, the sheriff is waiting for you in her office down the corridor. That was Cynthia Weaver. I guess you can call her the town eccentric. She used to be the editor of the local newspaper, but she's focused on, other things these days.
She'd fit right in where I come from.
As you can see, she's a little obsessed with maintaining the light bulbs of the whole town, refuses to step on shadows, things like that. Back in her day, she wrote about all sorts of weird things in the paper. Bright Falls has a colorful history. Of course, what small town hasn't?
Oh, really? She was a reporter, you don't say. Look at this. All these missing people. Oh, these are also the developers and stuff. And there's the missing cat. Let's see. Sarah Breaker. I'm just gonna run around because this does look different from the second game.
The sheriff
obviously.
wants to see you in her office, Mr. Wake.
They did change things around a bit. So this was the supply closet. This was... Oh, let's touch this.
Yeah, it's Mulligan here. I'm at Stucky's gas station with Thornton.
Oh,
There's no
Thornton.
sign of him. Over.
Wait. Yeah, this is Thornton. Look, we've located the parade float. It's here. That's some good news, right? Stucky was supposed to be driving it at the rehearsals today. Over.
Oh, give me that. Mulligan here. Looks like someone really thrashed the garage. Over.
Okay, roger that, guys. Keep looking for Stucky. Jane's out.
Sheriff Breaker is waiting for you
I
down the
might be eating
corridor in
something,
her
don't worry about
office.
it. Leave me alone, don't worry about it. Anyway, yeah, let's go meet Breaker. Okay, here we go. Here's the lady herself. My chest, I'm gonna die.
Come in, Mr. Wake. Your phone's on the desk. The battery was dead. It's charged now.
You know, I always thought that Sarah Breaker was like Native American
Your phone,
or something.
Mr. Wake?
Because we're supposed to be in DC. I always thought that she was like, I don't know, I just got the feeling. Like, she doesn't
Make sure
just...
you don't forget your phone.
Like, she's not just white. She's definitely like some sort of tribal person or something. I don't know why. I always thought that. Yep, let's pick up the phone.
Grab your phone, Mr. Wake.
Have you
We
started
a lot
looking
to
for my
talk
wife
about.
yet?
My men are already on it. Now, can you tell me what happened?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. We were arguing. I walked out of the cabin.
The cabin on Cauldron Lake?
How did you end up at Stucky's gas station?
I wanted to tell her what had happened last night, but I couldn't. She'd lock me up. Excuse me. I need to take this. Hello?
Alan, please help me.
Alice?
Stop talking to the law. You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see your wife again.
Who is this?
Go to the back lot. There's a hole in the fence on the left. Look inside the junker. I left a little something there to convince you we're all on the same page here. After you ditch the cops, you're gonna meet me in Elderwood National Park. There's a spot called Lover's Peak. Midnight. Don't do nothing stupid, pal. We're watching you.
I need some fresh air. Can I go out? In the back, maybe?
Of course, Mr. Wake. I understand. You can get there through the cells. Deputy Grant can show you the way.
I'm sorry. All of this, it's just a lot to take in.
Take your time, Mr. Wake. I understand. Can I ask you what the call was about, Mr. Wake?
It's personal.
Well, we are looking for your wife, and I'm going to need your cooperation if I'm going to help you.
I need a moment, after I get some fresh air.
Okay. You can find me here. We'll talk when you feel up to it.
Mr. Wake, can I help you with anything?
I need to get some air. The sheriff said I could go out back.
Of course, Mr. Wake. You can get there through the cell corridor. Just don't mind Walter in there. He's one of our regulars.
I thought he quit drinking for good.
Oh, no such luck. He went on a bender and beat Danny pretty badly. He started shouting like that the moment he woke up.
Oh man. Okay.
You can get to the back
Let's
lot
go see
through
what's
that
up.
door and down the corridor, Mr. Wake.
Hey, mister! Hey, can you turn the lights on? The deputies, they don't understand. They won't listen to me. I need it to be bright in here.
Ooh, here's a page.
Hey, you.
Let's read this. I keep hitting the thing.
In spite of its human mask, to describe the dark presence as intelligent would have implied human qualities on something decidedly inhuman. Nonetheless, it found the one spot in the diner that was dark enough. Some light spilled into the corridor, ravaging it. But it took the pain. Horrible as it was, the writer would soon fix that. He would be coming to the one place where it still had power.
Can you help me? Hey, please help me, man! I hate this! I can't stand the dark anymore! Thank you, man, thank you. Hey, you're alright. You're a good guy. Don't let anybody tell you different. You know, I shouldn't even be in here. The cops, they got it all wrong. See, sure, I beat him up, but I wasn't drunk. I mean, I wasn't drunk at the time.
Sure, okay, I believe
I only
you.
got drunk afterward. Okay, listen, you gotta listen carefully now. Here's the kicker. That wasn't Danny. No, sir. It only looked like him. You wanna know who it really was? I'll tell you who it really was. It was a goddamn space alien! I know it sounds like something a drunk would say, but believe me, I wasn't drunk then.
Okay, well.
I told him, oh yeah, well, I don't
Okay,
know.
that guy's drunk.
The early morning light hurt my eyes and made my head ache. The man on the phone had said, go through the fence on the left.
Okay. Oh, coffee thermos. Grabbing it.
Well, folks, it's been another long night, and it's about time for me to sign off for a while. God knows I need my beauty sleep. Just one more item before I go. It's been a busy night for the Sheriff's Department. We've had a few broken windows, even a report of shots fired on Main Street. Deputies Mulligan and Thornton had to deal with two intoxicated young men who were celebrating the completion of their Deerfest float. Now, folks, we get this every year. I know it's exciting that the big day's almost here, but let's save it for the party and leave the gunplay for the shooting competition, huh? No point in getting all worked up yet.
Okay, cool. That old junker, you say? Okay.
The caller had told me to find a hole in the fence behind the police station. There was something for me in an abandoned car.
My God. Yo, Alan's freaking. Yo, this guy does not skip like that, man. He freaking obliterated that shit. Hey, yo. Okay, let's read this.
The kidnapper fired his gun one last time, and the shadow vanished into the darkness it had come from. See? Nothing to it, Wake. The thought of Alice in his hands was revolting. We stood on the wooden platform of Lover's Peak, the waterfall on the mountain behind us, the lights of the radio mast blinking red in the heights above. I fought with the urge to take a swing, force myself to speak. Let's cut the act now. Where's my wife?
Okay.
Alice's driver's license had been placed on the front seat. The caller meant business.
Oh man, here we go.
Barry?
Ow! Ow! Thank God! Where the hell have you been? I've been trying to reach you for a week, you and Alice. Oh, I've been worried sick. I flew out yesterday. I'm here in Bright Falls.
Barry, listen to me. I'm at the sheriff's station. Come and get me. I can't talk now.
Ow! What the hell is going on?
I had to get the sheriff to let me go. I needed to get to Elderwood National Park to meet Alice's kidnappers.
Okay. I forget, but this seems like something you should obviously pull. And look at that low-res handle. Oh, I hate it. And the game's bad and terrible. And be quiet. I feel like I should be able to pull that and climb that. I don't know. I don't know. I forget if you can actually do that. I think you can. You most likely can. Don't quote me on that. That's probably for later. Which I'm not gonna say, but it's probably for later. Hey, buddy. Yeah, that guy is
A writer is a light that reveals the world of his story from darkness, shapes it from nothingness. The way a sculptor carves a statue from a block of granite. If I stop, the world I'm making dies. Darkness will reclaim it. It's a long, hard journey into the dark. Alice's life is at stake, but I can't think about that, or I'll lose it. The dread lingers at the edge of perception. I'll push on. Anything is possible here. I'll write the story. I'll save her.
Marvelous, Sarah. I just wanted to settle all the damage the Anderson brothers might have inadvertently caused on their recent and regrettable little outing. They are not accountable for their actions, of course. I can assure you that my staff has been reprimanded.
Tor and Odin never caused any trouble to anyone when they were still living at their farm.
Indeed. All we can do is to slow down the progress of their dementia.
Okay.
Are you feeling any better, Mr. Wake?
I'd like to leave. Am I free to go?
Well, we still need to talk about...
Am I under arrest?
No, of course not. But I need to know where you'll be staying so I can get in touch with you.
I'd avoid the motel. The Majestic is known for its roaches. The cabins at Elderwood are pretty nice, though.
That sounds perfect.
I'm Dr. Emil Hartman. I'd like to invite you to stay at Cauldron Lake Lodge.
Did you talk to my wife?
I had the pleasure of discussing your situation with her on several occasions.
Did you set something up with her?
I invited her here. My clinic is a place where...
Oh, hey! Oh, my! Take it easy.
Hey, nobody move. Get your hands off of my client.
Who are you?
I'm Barry Wheeler, his agent. If you have business with Mr. Wake, you talk to me. You yokels won't know what hit you once I sick my lawyers on your asses.
No harm done, Sarah. I'm all right. I don't want to press charges. Mr. Wake, my offer still stands.
Get me out of here.
Why wouldn't he want to press charges?
What the hell was that about, Al? We don't need a replay of that thing with the paparazzi. I thought they were gonna lock you up.
I like Barry. Barry's cool. I don't care what no one says.
I had to talk to someone. I told Barry everything. He thought I was certifiable, but when he heard about the manuscript, I had him. The fact that I'd written something, even if I couldn't remember it, was enough for him. He smelled money. And he believed that Alice had been kidnapped. Anything beyond that was another story. I had a midnight appointment with the kidnapper in a place called Lover's Peak, somewhere in Elderwood National Park. The plan was to rent a cabin.
I don't like it, Al. I don't like any of it. It's not good. In fact, it's the absolute opposite of good.
Apologize.
Mr. Wake! Barry, you found him.
Hi, Rose.
Oh, wow. I was just thinking about you, too.
Great.
I was just bringing Rusty some coffee. He's on the balcony, looking after Max. Poor thing. I really need to go. Great to see you again, Mr. Wake. Later!
Aw.
Who's Max?
See...
What an airhead.
Jeez, Mr. Takes a swing at everybody. This is not her fault. She's a very nice girl and, more importantly, a fan. She even has a fan site dedicated to you.
Oh, that's nice. You know what? When I first, oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So when I first, when we first meet Barry, I thought that he was your typical New York agent, like, hey, you get your hands off my client. Hey, Al, what you doing? What's the scoop with the book or whatever the heck, right? But he's actually a really cool guy. He's actually Alan's best friend that, they known each other all their lives, like from very young age. So they're like best friends, and Alan became a famous writer, and Barry took it upon himself to be like his agent, and so he's actually a really good guy. I know he comes across as like the hey Al, time is money type of guy, but no, he's a really decent guy. And look, here's the thing. So here's something that I mentioned. I have to bring it up again. I'm so sorry. But in Alan Wake 2, they have these little things, right? So the skeleton of a Colombian mammoth, blah blah blah. Now these little things aren't really necessary to the story, right? The mammoth doesn't matter, right? It was donated when the clone became okay. So he's the official park mascot, okay, right? But here's the thing, is that while this isn't necessary, it does make the world seem more alive. Like, oh, this was donated back in the 80s, blah, 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 blah. Now it's like a symbol of the park now. Like, cool, okay, cool mascot. They got little gift shops, blah, blah, blah. But in Alan Wake 2, it seemed like there was a lot more of this side stuff, right? Like, oh, here's a book you found in the woods, and somebody saying how much he likes to watch birds. But there's not really that much substance happening in the main story. So there's enough, I don't know if I'm going to say this properly, there is enough substance in the main plot of Alan Wake, this game, to, allow for all these side things. Like, oh, look, here's a mammoth. Oh, look, they got things of deer and, some educational stuff. Talk about the different... oh yeah, so this was this, and this was this, and look, oh, so yeah, millions of years ago, and it got little information about, the mountain lions or, the cougars and all this stuff. So it's nice that they were able to decorate the background with all this information to make it seem like a real place, that this place could really exist, that, yeah, it's a recreation center, but also it's educational. It also doubles as like a ranger station. It also doubles as like, oh yeah, you can rent cabins here, by the station and go on hiking trails. That's cool. But in Alan Wake 2, when I'm trekking through, and I'm gonna play the game. I swear I will. Just one more thing. But when you're, so when I was trekking by, what was it called, the Witch's Hut? If you go to the left of the Witch's Hut, there's this little area that's like boxes and scraps and junk, and you find this book where this person wrote, yeah, so I told her I like her, and she basically friend zoned him. So this guy is writing in his diary about how he told this girl that he liked her and he got friend zoned. I thought that maybe it was the couple that you meet in the diner to do your investigation. I forget. And then he's like, oh, I'm so embarrassed, kill me now, man. So, yeah. You find some guy's diary about how a girl rejected him. Then you find a book saying, oh, I like collecting and, watching these birds in the hiking trail. But the main plot doesn't have enough substance to where with Anderson or Alan, well, Alan's in his own separate dark dimension, so it looks cool. But Anderson, she's just going from A to B to C to D without much in between. So once you talk to the person you're supposed to talk to, that's it. You're going from A straight to B, and then there's the cutscene. Well, with Alan Wake, the original, I'm walking with Barry.
Seriously,
meet
Al,
this person,
what you were saying in the car,
just
listen to yourself.
Listen
what,
to Barry.
You shot a guy and his body just disappeared?
Barry's like,
when was the
oh,
last time
Alan,
you slept?
Are
you high? Have you been drinking?
No! Look, Barry, I'm missing a week.
And someone's got Alice.
Do you
and everything's
understand what it sounds like when you say stuff
And
like
listen
that?
to the voice
Don't get me wrong,
actors.
it's a good story, could be a bestseller. But when you start confusing fiction with reality, you're buying yourself a ticket to the funny farm.
Wait here.
Okay, so listen how they, they're speaking to each other, all these characters. They're speaking with, like, emotion. They're speaking with passion, sarcasm. They're making jokes, anger, sadness, frustration, all that other stuff. Skepticism, from the sheriff, like, the cabin on Cauldron Lake. And he's like, yes, I was just there with my wife, you know what I mean? But in Alan Wake 2, the voice acting, aside from the janitor, who I love the janitor, he's cool. Now, Agent Casey makes sense, because he's, like, supposed to be, like, the real-life version of Alex Casey from the book, so it makes sense for him to act and talk that way. But then you have all the other characters, and it's like, their performances aren't really that good, and Anderson comes off as cold and detached about every single thing, except for maybe 2 scenes when she's talking about her kid and she's supposed to display emotion, which is, I don't know. I know I just talked a lot without playing the game, but let's progress. Let's move forward. Let's get to the next part, and then we'll probably, you know what? We're gonna get to the next part.
I'm almost done.
And then we'll end it when we start doing the night section. So we'll do the day section, end it.
Hey, Rusty,
finish
right?
with the night section.
You run cabins.
Which
Oh,
shouldn't be
Mr.
that
Wake,
far.
I'd shake your hand, but mine are kind of full here. Actually, I'm sorry about this.
This is the
Would you
guy
mind
from the
grabbing
diner,
the
by the way.
registration form from the desk? It's just across from Bucktooth Charlie.
Okay, sure. What happened?
Crazy poachers. Max here got his foot caught in a trap. They're illegal to use here. Hell, you're not supposed to hunt within the park at all. But that doesn't stop some lowlifes. Well, at least Max is gonna be okay. He got lucky.
So
Max is still groggy from the shot I gave him, and I'd rather not leave him alone just yet. The form's on the desk across from the mammoth skeleton.
Okay. So you hear how he just mentioned, oh, that's a cool little parking lot. Never realized.
Okay, boy, we're almost done here.
So, how I can't speak. How he just mentioned that the dog stepped on a bear trap because illegal hunting and people put traps in the woods.
Shh, that's a good dog.
This comes up. This is a gameplay mechanic. You are getting information conversationally to say, hey, and you don't really think about it until later on in the game. So did I just spoil that
He's
little
going to
bit?
be fine.
Maybe, but I did it to try and explain how you're learning information organically. And this isn't just a throwaway line. You might not think about it when you're in the woods and you step on a bear trap later on in the game. You're like, oh yeah, he said there were bear traps in the woods because XYZ.
Seriously, Al,
You know?
can't just go and meet a kidnapper. Those situations always end up in disaster. You gotta talk to the cops.
She's my wife, and it's my call. Can we talk about this later?
No, this whole thing, listen, you hit your head. I mean, geez, Al, come on. You gotta understand how crazy all this sounds. If you're trying to pull a joke on me, freak me out, it's working. Ha ha, let's have a laugh on Barry. Well, you had me going there real funny, Al. You can quit it now.
I like it. Look at how expressive the characters are. I know that it was a limitation because of the facial animations weren't really up to snuff just yet, so they have to move their arms around in their body to kind of express emotion and gesture. I also like his outfit. It looks pretty funny. He's a funny little dude. But yeah, it was just... I don't know, man. I can't stop thinking about it. But that's the whole reason why I started playing this playthrough again. And it's making me realize how much I love this game, Not realize, I already love the game, but it's like I'm experiencing why I love the game all over again. And look at all the stuff you're doing, just from the first 2 videos, right? And this one too. look at how far Alan has come. You know what I mean? He's been to all these different locations. Wait, let's just go over it really, really quick, and then when it starts tonight, we'll start the next one, right? So Alan, he goes through a dream sequence, right? It's a little tutorial to learn how to play the game. He wakes up, he's on the ferry with his wife, you do a little conversation with her, you talk to the local guy, get some background flavor, and you see the beautiful Bright Falls, right? It does look picturesque. Look at this. It is very lovely, right? Oh, by the way, this Bright Falls does not look like this in the second game. It looks like poopy. So yeah, you go to Bright Falls, you go to the diner, you meet Rose, you meet the sheriff, you meet the Anderson brothers, you interact with the jukebox, but that's a joke, but it's also teaching you a gameplay mechanic. And then you go, you meet Cynthia Weaver, she's at the diner too, okay. You go to the bathrooms, you meet that mysterious old woman that hands you a key and directions. You leave, Cynthia Weaver, you know, Odin, blah, blah, blah. And then you get in the car with Alice. You get in the car with Alice. You go to Bird Leg. What did they call it? Bird Leg Island. Bird Leg Isle. I know it's Diver's Isle, but you know the local called it Bird Leg something. So you go to the cabin that's on the lake. You explore it for a little bit. Talk to your wife. You get into a fight. You run. Oh, you jump in the water. You wake up in a car wreck. You have to make it to the gas station. The car falls in the ditch. Then you trek through the forest, being attacked. Make it to the gas station. You meet the sheriff. She's like, "What are you talking about? What cabin on Cauldron Lake? That went down in the 70s. You go check it out." And Alan, he's looking all like shocked, like the cabin's gone. Where did the island go? Well, who knows? It's a mystery. You wake up and then you do a flashback with you and your wife, you know, and you're doing that, you know, little bit of backstory. And then you're in the sheriff's office, and then you're getting seen by the doctor, and then you go here and you go here, and now now you meet Barry, and now you're in this little area. So, in only about, let's say, an hour and a half, let's be generous, maybe say 2 hours, you've done all these things, met all these characters, learned different gameplay mechanics and what's expected of you as the player, and now you just learned a new gameplay mechanic, which I did reveal. Those bear traps will come back later on, and they will be a hazard, right? So you're learning something organically. And after this, you know, you're gonna go do the next section, you know, whatever. But in Alan Wake 2, that doesn't really happen, right? You do the opening scene that was big and catching, like, okay, what's going on here? I'm ready. I want to know what's going on. Then you meet Alex Casey. What? Alex Casey? The hell's going on here? But then the game slows down by so much, and it takes a long, long while for it to pick up some steam. But it's not exactly a roller coaster, right? If Alan Wake 2 is a roller coaster, it's like the little kiddie ones, you know, that you would go to like Hershey Park or Six Flags or some other sort of carnival thing where they have the little kiddie rides where maybe the cart is like a hippo or a bumblebee, or maybe a little, you know, basic cart maybe with flowers painted on it for the kids, and it has those little bunny hills. That's what I think Alan Wake 2 is like. It's like a kiddie roller coaster. It's just maybe twice as big. So there's a few more bunny hills, and then there's one big bunny hill. And then, for some reason, in the middle of the track, it goes from bunny hills to maybe 2 big dips, right? Maybe 2 10-foot, 20-foot dips. And then that's it. So, that might not be accurate, but I'm just speaking like right off the top of my head. What when I'm trying to describe this. But Alan Wake, the original, I know I'm just talking, I'm not playing the game, I'm so sorry. But I know that in the original game, it's like a roller coaster, you know, it's steady. You know, you're going down the track, and then you're ramping up, right? You're going up, you know, you're going up the track, and now you're getting higher and higher. Then it drops you, whew, then it levels out, and then it does a loop, whoa, and then it does a turn, you know, so, and then it might do another big drop. So, you know, there's peaks and valleys with this game, and then a steady rise. I've talked enough. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be playing the game.
And here are the keys. Okay, you're all set, Mr. Wake.
And I'm
glad to have you staying here.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Can you tell me how to get to Lover's Peak?
Oh, sure. It's at the end of the nature trail. Just follow the paths, you'll get to it eventually. It's an easy walk. Nice spot, too.
Yeah, so...
If you have any trouble finding it, just keep your eyes on the radio mast. It's right below that. Oh, and hey, if you take a walk in the woods, watch your steps so you don't end up like Max.
See?
I guess I'm a little worried. We got a bunch of campers out there we haven't heard from. It's not like these people are on a schedule, but with the traps, well, you know. I just don't want any trouble.
Right, thanks.
See, he just told you about the bear traps. That's a new obstacle. Oh, and that's the mast, by the way. You can see it off in the distance. But yeah, again, I don't mean to harp on the second game, but the reason why I'm playing this one is because I had problems with the second game, and I'm kind of rediscovering my love for this first one. So I don't mean to make it all about the second one. It should be about this game and what you're doing here, but I just feel like when I see something, I want to point out clear examples so I can try to be a bit more concise as to what I felt was lacking in the official sequel.
You're asking me
And
to
Barry's
believe
cool.
that you
I like
shot a
Barry.
dude who went poof into thin air, a guy who was bulletproof until you pointed a flashlight at him. You hear that from people who end up spending time in padded rooms, strapped to their beds, wearing white shirts with too long tangled up sleeves, and eating a healthy diet of pills. Al, you make cruel jokes about people who believe that kind of stuff. You're the skeptic. You gave me an hour-long lecture on homeopathy last month. What was it? If there's no proof, it's pure bullshit. Period.
Guess the laugh's on me then.
Al, come on! I mean, okay. Okay, maybe something weird happened to you, okay?
Well, thanks for the heartfelt vote of confidence.
All I'm saying is you gotta throw me a bone here, bestseller. What would you think if it was me? There's no way you should be going out at midnight with a gun.
No one asked you to come here, Barry. Either work with me on this or go straight back to New York. Your choice.
One last thing before we finish this section. By these interactions, you learn a lot about these characters. You just learned a lot about Barry. And you learned another thing about Alan, that he's skeptical, you know? But, you don't really get that in Alan Wake 2. Okay, I said it. Okay, I'm done. Let's finish this section. Let's go to night, and then I will do the night section in the next video, so that way we can get to the part. Oh, here we go.
Al? Al? We should go to the sheriff or call the FBI.
Damn it, Barry, they'll kill her! This is not a goddamn debate, Barry. I'm going to Lover's Peak. He said to come alone.
Okay then. I understand. You're my best friend, and I'm worried that you're not right in the head. Tell me what to do to help, and I'll do it.
You stay here, and if I'm not back by morning, call the cavalry.
Achoo! Achoo! Just be careful with the natives, Al. These yokels are dangerous. Everybody hates a tourist, or it'll be Deliverance all over again. Achoo!
Bless you.
Oh, this place is trying to kill me. I'll bet there's mold in here, spores, poison ivy, God knows what. This is so not worth a 15% commission.
I like Barry. He's cool. I know I said that like a bunch of times now, but he really
Lock
is.
the door when I leave.
Yep, you go ahead and do what you have to do. I'll be fine.
Man, we're pretty high
Alone,
up.
but
Look how
fine.
pretty it is.
In a cabin straight from a horror movie.
I think that's supposed to be the lake in the distance. And I think that's supposed to be the cabin. Okay,
You want to know where you can shove that flashlight?
where? This is a nice cabin. I wouldn't mind staying.
Where you point that thing, Al? Stop it, Al! Stop it!
Nice. Yeah, but this really is a nice little cabin. I wouldn't mind staying here if this was a real
Giving
place.
me a migraine, Al. You know I'm useless with a migraine.
Okay. This really is nice. Apparently you can rent a spot like this. This is so nice. I like the tiny fridge. Can't go in the bathroom. That's cool. I also like how the flashlight is much more... I'm doing it again. I like how the flashlight is much more useful in the first game. The lights are off and look, whoa, I can see everything. I'm not totally fucking blind. I'm gonna turn the lights back on. Okay. Well, let's end it here. Even though this video is really about me ranting. Oh. Stay in your corner. Yeah, so even though this video was just about me ranting and not really much happened, we did learn some things, and the story is going to progress. In the next video, I'm going to tackle the nighttime section, and we are going to get a move on, and we're going to really try and buckle down and focus. Okay, well, let's move on to the next part.